Sharon, 3 protesters were arrested here yesterday. I spoke with 2 of them. They tell me they will continue to protest until they see real change between police and the community that they serve.
The Illinois State Fire Marshal is in Marissa this weekend. They're investigating a series of fires believed to be intentionally set. Emily, starting Monday night, police will be flooding the streets of East St. Louis, an area is well known for drugs and crime. Chief Michael Fleury has been working to decrease violence there.
I got to be honest, when I was walking in here, we were getting ready for this live shot, I had to ask to make sure this was the furnace. So for those people that are like myself, have not been to the basement, have not checked the furnace, is there anything we can do to protect ourselves before the end of the winter?
The Spangler Company made their own 2015 calendars, and with the money they make, they'll pass out more than $20,000 to area volunteer fire departments.
I did just talk to a firefighter who told me that he's just working to keep the fire from spreading to another building. So that's also on their minds. If you can see fire, we still have flames. Oscar, can you take a look right there? You see it? We still have flames out here, guys. The fire has not died down at all. I can tell you, Robin, that I've spoken to lots of victims in the area, lots of people that were inside this building and had to evacuate and really lost everything. And I've only seen one person crying. I don't know how they do it, how they keep it together, really. The Red Cross is here. They're helping everybody out. People have come out of their homes looking at this, but they're holding it together very well. And I really don't see how. But I'm going to stay out here all morning long. And if you guys want to check in with me before the end of the newscast, I'll be available for an update. Robin, back to you.
Well, Sharon, I was on West Florissant and Canfield, but my photographer Alonzo and I had to get out of the area. While shooting interviews and video, we found out our window had been broken into. Not just this window, but there was also a window in the back of our live truck. So again, we got out of there concerned for our safety, but we were there at the beginning of that visual on Canfield and again West Florissant. There were thousands of people marching. Then the crowd became violent. People started surrounding police cars, hoping to intimidate officers who eventually drove away. I did speak with a 13-year-old Aja Blackwell. She lives in that neighborhood, and she simply told me she was scared. What are you seeing? You said you're scared. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing people doing stuff like breaking into stores and stuff and just doing bad stuff.
What stores did they break into?
Quick Trip.
What did they take out? Did you see them run out with anything?
Everything. They destroy everything.
You're saying that people are getting disruptive. What was happening?
Well, you know, it's not the family, because I'm part of the family. But the people up there start throwing bottles. They caused the police to come down here. It was supposed to be peaceful. That's not peaceful, throwing bottles and beer cans and stuff like that.
I've been reaching out to the Ferguson police chief. He has been helpful all weekend long with News 4. I want to know his plans to control the crowd, so I will continue to have updates online and on air. KMOV.com. Live in North County, Brittany Noble, News 4.
Disgusting, Jasmine. That's the chief's response to this video, and according to him, it's his black officers that take the most heat.
I was disgusted. I couldn't believe that was happening. My husband is the type of person that he loves his community, and he actually grew up in Ferguson.
Sunday night, Officer Kirkwood became the target for some protesters on West Florissant.
And then an officer goes for a disturbance involving 40 to 60 protesters at the McDonald's who are apparently throwing water bottles and glasses of water around, pulls up in the scene and is immediately surrounded by these protesters.
Are you surprised that a black officer is being targeted in Ferguson?
Oh yeah, I'm very surprised. And actually, he's not the only black officer. From what I understand, all the black officers are being targeted.
Interim Chief Alan Eckhoff says he isn't surprised by this video. He says since the death of Mike Brown, black officers working in Ferguson are targets.
We've all worked the lines, the skirmish lines, and you see how they focus on the black officers especially. And after 20, 25 minutes, we pull them off the line for their safety.
Police did not make Officer Kirkwood available for an interview, but Eckhoff says he did speak with him.
It's frustrating for them, you know, and they're like, I should be your poster child. Educated, 4-year degree, I'm out here helping the community, I want to be here, I want to be a good policeman. And you got these people full of hate, is the only way to describe it. Hate and anger. You know, and I don't like it.
The department tells me despite scenes like the ones we just saw, they are committed to healing the community. Reporting live in Ferguson, Brittany Noble Jones, News 4. Jasmine, I'm next to the Scott Trade Center. This is where a fight spilled from the sidewalk into the street. 2 men have been charged, but some people tell me the guard should face punishment too.
It was scary. I mean, it was right outside our front door of our hotel. It's kind of scary.
Everyone is talking about this fight at Clark and 14th Street on Thursday night. The video starts with a 39-year-old security guard holding a man in a headlock and punching him 10 times.
I don't know. It's bad. It's terrible.
When you see a security guard throwing punches like that, what goes through your mind?
It needs to be fired. Need to be locked up.
2 minutes of the fight is caught on video. Police are calling the guard a victim.
It looks like he put himself in a bad situation to me.
Investigators say it all started after an 18-year-old failed to present a valid ticket to ride the metro. When security asked him to leave, the passenger became confrontational and his friend, quote, tried to strike the victim. Then both suspects began to assault the victim. Terrence Brown says he was there and disagrees with the police report.
Do you think the security guard started the fight?
Yes, he did, because he punched the guy first.
According to Brown, this all started because of a girl and not because of a ticket problem.
How do you guys know about the security guard and his personal life?
Oh, because he said it. He broadly stated that he was in a relationship with her. They trained to try to resolve the problem, but I don't see why he's fighting with the person. I don't understand that. And then he doing it in front of a bus and they holding up traffic. That's wild. That's wild. I don't understand that.
Metro wants to make this clear. They said they had problems with those passengers earlier in the day. In a statement they released this afternoon, they said our guards may defend themselves. Any incidents on our system are reviewed internally. This guard's actions are being investigated by Metro and the St. Louis Police Department. I will be sure to follow up on this investigation. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Brittany Noble-Jones, News 4.
I spoke with an alderman in North St. Louis today. He tells me he's noticed 6 different gangs in his neighborhood. His hope is that police and the community come together to stop the growing problem.
Alderman Sam Moore of the 4th Ward said he's noticing more and more young people joining gangs in his area.
We also have a new group of young guys that are gathering that can observe the old gang from where they have squatted in these empty buildings, and they take over empty structures and they just hang there.
When he sees bad behavior, the alderman says he calls police for help. St. Louis Police Captain John Hayden agreed the city has a gang problem, especially in North St. Louis.
In Wells Goodfellow, there is a pretty strong gang proliferation up there. And certainly, as by the numbers from last year, they peaked early on as one of the more violent communities in the city. And they ended the year that way.
The captain, who is the commander of the 5th District, which includes some of the highest crime areas in the city, says gang members don't wear colors anymore, but they try to blend in with the crowds.
You hear about these people, unintended victims, but those are few and far between. Most of the people that are involved know their assailants. They are maybe owe them money. Maybe they're in competition with each other. Maybe they're trying to rob one another.
In 2014, 159 people were murdered in St. Louis, and according to police, much of that is connected to gang activity.
It's not like it's the whole neighborhood that's like that. Hey, it might be 10 strong group of young men, and hey, these days, young men and young women. But hey, a faction of 10 that are really dedicated to the cause, and in this case, criminal activity, they can really cause a lot of trouble in the neighborhood.
Police are encouraging anyone to call them with tips. If you see any bad activity happening in your neighborhood, let them know so they can check it out. I'm told the areas with high community involvement have seen a decrease in crime. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Brittany Noble-Jones, News 4. The residents of one local apartment complex promised News 4 they dropped off their rent checks on time. Now those checks are missing. So what happened? News 4's Jasmine Huda reports even police were shocked to hear how criminals got into a drop box and cashed the money. It's a story you'll only see on News 4. New developments this morning on the shooting inside the Chuck E. Cheese's restaurant in St. Charles. Police are asking for help finding 2 people of interest connected to the case. Take a look at these photos. Police need your help finding a 24-year-old Denisha Johnson and 23-year-old Devin Strotter. Both of them are from St. Louis. Investigators have not said how they may be connected to the shooting. Meanwhile, police have released this new surveillance video showing the couple going into the Chuck E. Cheese's on Veterans Memorial Parkway last Monday night. The video also shows a man holding a gun inside the restaurant. Welcome back. News 4 always watching out for your health, and today kicks off American Heart Month. That's why we're introducing you to this special South County couple, Wayne and Mary Huff. Some say their love is a heartwarming story, but it took a turn when Mary found out she had breast cancer.
The day that I went.
Thanks to a special heart device, both of them are now able to recover from their ailments at home. You'll see more of their story and hear how this device could save you on tomorrow's News 4 this morning. That starts at 4:30.